Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Irene Parklin, and in this video I am going to be sharing some personal pros and cons to working as a nurse case manager. If you didn't already know, I am a registered nurse and I work from home. It is a hybrid position, but I feel like 9 out of 10 times we're just getting generic understanding or generic reviews about non-bedside nursing advantages as well as disadvantages. And I'm currently on my break and I'm like, you know what? I need to put this out there because we get to experience this as the day comes. Some days are better than others. And I feel like with every experience that I get, it might be an amazing opportunity to present that out there so that whenever anyone is deciding to work in this field, they can have something to look back to and reference to. So I'm just gonna list a couple of pros and cons, and I hope this helps. I hope you enjoyed the video. So number one on my list is work-life balance. I've said this a lot in my previous videos. Working remotely or working a hybrid position, whichever it may be, offers the work-life balance a lot of people desire. I currently love this part of working as a non-bedside nurse, and I feel like if you're seeking that, if you have kids, even though you don't have kids, you just like to be mostly in your home, you like to work from home, you don't see yourself working as a bedside nurse, that is definitely okay. There are a lot of jobs and a lot of positions out there that you can apply in. The second pro on my list is the flexibility involved in this. It is very flexible. I'm currently on my break and I'm doing this right now. Like, seriously, I got my setup going on, I got my light going on, like I got a couple of like a time limit of break, and I'm like, okay, I can squeeze this in. Like, what job offer that? What bedside job offer that? I mean, I don't know if they do offer that, but like, correct me if I'm wrong. Anywho, jumping to the third one, I am pretty sure that it's very self-explanatory regarding flexibility. The third on my list is autonomy. I don't know if anyone else is like me, but personally, I don't like the fact of an individual, it can be a manager, fellow staff member, breathing down my neck. I love autonomy, the ability to like be out here in the community and do my work in my pace and with these members, follow up with these members, and just be positive that whatever care or whatever intervention that I present as a nurse is, they trust in it. Like my managers trust in my judgment, my nursing assessment, my judgment, they trust in it, and they're not like breathing down my neck or like micromanaging me. You know what I'm saying? So this is another pro in working as a nurse case manager position that I cherish a lot. The fourth on my list is, by the way, if you see me looking down, I do have my scratch pad right here, so I have to reference and I look back at you like it's a little bit going on here. But anyway, what on my list is you have an in-depth understanding on the services as well as the job. I know people will be like, oh my gosh, working remotely, what could be difficult? Listen, it is entirely different compared to working inpatient. I currently work as a nurse case manager with an insurance company, and that's a whole nother ball game. Like, that's a whole nother like scope of practice in nursing that you have to learn. You know, like if you feel like you know a lot, oh, how to change, dress a wound, or hang blood, or hang IVs and this and that, like great. When you come to this type of nursing, you will have to relearn a different aspect of nursing, if that makes sense. So I feel like being in this space, it gives you more time to literally understand from ground zero up to like where your knowledge needs to be working as a nurse case manager in order to like provide the appropriate services to these members. It is just now I'm understanding, okay, I, as the nurse case manager, get to put in this request to get this service rolling. If I don't do this and send it to this particular team, the next team is not going to get that, and then the members are not going to get that, or the vendors are not going to get this request to send to the members. So yeah, this is the part of nursing where I'm like, okay, I love this job. It just creates this atmosphere for me to learn more and put in what I learn into my job, like put in what I learn in my everyday use. And then the final pro, of course, I've said this before, financial stability. I mean, who doesn't like financial stability? I know I do. But anyway, this job provides a lot of financial stability. There are some days that are not as cool as the rest of the days. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this. I mean, of course, I'm sure most of us would just like to sit somewhere and be like a queen or whatever, and we're getting paid anyway. It doesn't really work like that. Life can be very serious too. But this job, whenever it gets crazy and everything, apart from the patience, the love of my actual job, and just love of everything I do, I consider the financial aspect as well, because the bills keep on coming. It has to get paid somehow. So having a job that can support your lifestyle, I believe, is pretty amazing. So that's the pro I have to give today. And then some cons that I have. As much as this job can be relaxing, it provides that work-life balance, it can also be stressful. Because I work from home, some team members may assume I am constantly in front of my computer. And because of that, they might believe that, oh, whenever I call on her, she has to pick up the phone immediately, or she has to respond to this email ASAP. It doesn't always get like that. We don't always get that lucky. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do get busy. I do go to the community to see some members. And when I'm out there and speaking to other members, I'm not checking my phone constantly or trying to check my emails on the road. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes when you get back and get to open your emails with the influx of emails, it can be a pretty much overwhelming. So you got to get your stress under check, so as not to be overwhelmed constantly. That is a con of this job that I'm still trying to navigate through, because if you're not someone that like talking to people a lot or can't manage stress appropriately, this can be a little bit for you. Okay, the next on my list for cons is customer service. Like I said in my first con, like this, if you don't like talking to people, this can be a problem for you, because you will be on the phone. Some patients like talking and complaining about the same thing over and over again. If you don't have that, if you're not compassionate enough, or you don't really care about like talking to people or have the appropriate customer service skill, this can be such of a tricky situation for you. So this is something you probably should think about before you apply for a job like this. And the last I have on my list is setting boundaries. Listen, sis, you have to set boundaries. Working inpatient or outpatient, you always have to set boundaries. I think it took me working in the mental health, as a mental health nurse, to realize that, okay, I have to set boundaries regarding a lot of things, just so that the patient don't cross that nurse-patient, you know what I'm saying? So working out here, I know that with these teams that I give an example of, as well as patients, they can call in at any hour of the night. Of course, work hours like this is between 5 to 9. But most patients, of course, you tell them, they just don't listen. I've gotten calls at 11 p.m. I would not take that call, because these individuals need to understand that you have a work life as well as a personal life. And when it's during work life, we can talk, and I can do my best to assist you at that time, or transfer you to the appropriate personnel to assist you. But when it's past 5 p.m. and actually personal time, I'm not picking up my work. First of all, my work phone is placed on do not disturb on the side. Still, you get text messages and phone calls. We do have 24 to 48 hours to respond to these patients. So I utilize that time. So as a nurse, I feel like you need to utilize those times, because you can be very overwhelmed. You can be set back a lot with what you actually have to do, because I've heard of a lot of nurses that freak out. Oh my gosh, they called me at 10 p.m. to complain of this and that, and they can't get this because they need it by tomorrow early morning at like 6 a.m. I'm like, why are you on your work phone at 10 p.m.? Even though you want to do some work at nighttime, you should be on your computer working on your documentation stuff, and not on your actual work phone. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you need to set that boundary in order to maintain that work-life balance, and everything will be all right. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this quick video on pros and cons of working as a hybrid nurse or as a remote registered nurse. I hope this was helpful, and you already know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in my next one. Deuces.